Hi, this is Dr. Emmanuel, Faculty of Social Work from Kumaraguru College of Liberal Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Today, we're going to talk about what is social audit. There are many authors who have given different views on what is social audit. We're going to talk about social audit in CSR. This is the content for our presentation. We're going to discuss about what is social audit, definitions of social audit, objectives and components of social audit. What is social audit? It would be interesting to understand what is audit before we understand social audit. Audit is an inspection in a company or an organization. Inspection may be a financial inspection. There are different types of audits, and social audit is one among them. So here, social audit is basically a public disclosure of a company's social performance. How a company was able to perform in its community, how the company was able to take care of the social activities. So when the report is shared with the stakeholders, they tend to understand what the company has done. So that is social audit. Social audit doesn't just stop with a public disclosure, but rather it is an internal evaluation of a company's social responsibility to understand where are the gaps, what were the backlogs, where it went right, where it went wrong, some things like that. Next, it is to inspect a company's procedures to improve its social performances. There would have been many interventions, there would have been many projects, there would have been many programs. Which one had a greater impact to understand that? The next one is to understand the balance between social responsibility and making profits. In today's context, the businesses are more interested to make profits. Maybe they spend very less time in the community, in seeing an impact in the community. But what is the balance? So understanding all these things are social audit. So here there are two definitions of social audit. The first definition is a pretty much an orthodox definition. The second definition is a crystal clear definition. The first definition goes this way: the social audit is an idea whose time has come, but which is not ready to be taken off the drawing board and put to work, by Melvin. So this definition says organizations has planned for its social activities but have not implemented it. So the evaluation of all those things, maybe a project proposal, maybe the program design, is social audit according to this person. The next person, that is Bowney, says a commitment to systematic assessment of reporting on some meaningful, definable domain of a company's activities that have a social impact. So here, this definition talks about the impact. What impact that the company has done in the community? How many household, or how many children, how many youth, how many women, how many vulnerable people they were able to bring in an impact. So all these things are social audit as per this person. So these are the objectives of social audit. The first one is to assess the impact on the local communities. So here, as you know, in a CSR, the corporate adopts the villages, maybe adopts the community. So here they assess what is the impact, that they brought in, maybe in the vulnerable sector, maybe with old people, maybe with women, with children, so on and so forth. The next one is to identify the social gaps. Social gaps here is just to understand where they have left. We know how far they were able to travel in that traveling time, in that project area. What are the gaps? What are the things that to be addressed? So in social audit, they will be able to understand and they'll be able to rectify it in the coming financial year. The next one is to assess the condition of work. So CSR or social audit doesn't just stop with community, but also it sees the inner picture of the business. So here, when a company is able to do a lot of things in the community, and if it is not able to take care of its own employees, then it is a hypocrite. So here, assessing the conditions of work, how it is able to take care of its employees, how it is able to create a good working environment for its employees. The next one is to formulate initiatives for the development of local communities. So here, how far the programs are able to reach the community members, how far they have reached the target areas. So understanding and trying to evaluate those programs so that they can only develop a good program to the people. The next one is to understand fair price of the goods produced for the consumers. So again, the CSR should be reflected in the business. For example, when the product cost is 1 rupee, and if the business is, if the corporate is spending or maybe is selling the product for 100 rupees, then it is wrong. So to understand how fair that the business is being carried out in the market also matters a lot in the social audit. The next one, to ensure whether the resources are being used effectively. There are plenty of resources to run a business or to run a corporate. There are plenty of resources required. How effective that the resources are used. They're to be used very effectively and also smartly to give a better delivery in the community. The next one is about the components of social audit. The first one is social component. So social component is a three-dimension one. It is connecting the community, the corporate, and the employees. So here the connect, how far they are able to connect. For example, there are people who have never even visited communities. So here, how far are they able to connect? For example, some employees don't have an idea about what is happening in the social responsibility sector of the corporate. So how far are they able to connect? So this is number one component. The second component is economic component. For example, how far they are able to do business and how far financially they are right. How far the company was able to spend the CSR funds in the community. Are they spending so much for the administration or are they spending so much for the program? That to be evaluated. So this is one of the components. The second one is health and educational components. So here, how far the company was able to allocate its funds for health, how far it was able to spend money in the educational components. It is not just adopting a school and just giving them some funds. No, it is going beyond. Maybe how far they were able to create an impact for the children in the schools. Through that, how far the target members are impacted. And health, again, not just setting up a small health center, but rather are they having medical records of community members? So that to be taken care of. So how far they were able to do justice in these two areas. The next one is a very important component, that is the environmental component. Environmental component, of course, we know corporates take a lot of resources. They use a lot of resources of especially the natural resources. Are they polluting? Are they destroying the environment? How far is their waste management? So all these things are to be considered. So these things are very, very important so that the company or the corporate doesn't spoil the environment. So this again is a very, very important component. The next one is a political component. This political component has got nothing to do with politics, nothing to do with government, but rather it is what is the relationship between an employer and an employee? Is the trade union very strong? Is the trade union very strong? How far the trade union is helpful? Is there a higher mm, is there a higher layoff rate? So on and so forth. So how far the company is able to retain its employees? Is the turnover rate more? So all these things are to be considered. So these are some of the components of social audit. So if we have any clarification, there are some links given beneath the slides, so you can go through it. Thank you.